All right, this is Valborg. For some reason, I lost my mic. Why did I lose my mic? There it goes. All right, this is Valborg. Uh, we've been practicing Tsukuba and decided to go ahead and hit up a race. Um, Qualifying didn't go so well. I was running probably about a 106.4, 106.5 somewhere in there, and I just barely touched off, and it gave me a fault, so that lap was disqualified. So my first lap, I kind of took it easy and was warming up the tires and hit a 108, and that's where I'm starting, 10th. Not that I need to be starting up in this pack, because these guys look all about the same, and it's gonna get ugly. So it's probably best if I just start in the back and just hang out and ride, and hopefully people fall out. It is a fast heat. We got 4 people under 106, and then like 5 people at 106. So it is definitely going to be a fast heat. We've been practicing, so we're just going to ride and put in some laps and be smooth and consistent and get out of here with whatever we get. We're probably going to lose a lot of I rating because we're just not fast enough. I need to do something. I need to break out the gear shifter or something. All right, well, let's take our spot on the grid, I guess. So I was going back watching this video sometime later, and I realized, oh shit. Uh, for some reason, I got quiet as a mouse for the whole race. So yeah, we're not gonna pass anybody right now. We're just gonna sit here and chill and ride until it spreads out a little, and then we're not gonna be stupid. I decided to come back in and do some. These guys are all fast. It won't take long for them to spread out and figure this out. Do some narration of the video, because otherwise you guys would have like 20 minutes of me saying nothing. The tires are cold, so we don't want to overdo the tires necessarily. All right, it's starting to spread out now. I think I say one other thing the whole length of the video, and that was, why is the car so squirrely? So, hence the over narration. We were over driving the crap out of these corners. Here comes the squirrely comment. Or not. Maybe I misremembered. It might be the next turn or something. It was. Or the next lap in that same spot. But yeah, I guess we were focusing and concentrating and we just forgot we were recording. So I watched this video several times. Overshot this corner bad. Slowing down, getting a run off. I was just outclassed, outmanned. One of the, I guess it's a problem with iRating because it fixes itself, is once you get out of rookie status, you have like a 1350 I rating, which is a pretty good I rating. It's not a rookie I rating. It is more of like a journeyman I rating. Wow, I couldn't believe I didn't tag that guy. I remember that from the race, thinking, wow, I can't believe I missed that guy. Thankfully I did, because I was driving like crap. I was all out of control in this race, and it's hard to believe that I didn't take people out. Yeah. How's the car all squirrely? Because you're driving like crap, you dumbass. Yeah, I still don't hit apexes as well as I could, but I mean, I've only been doing it for a few days. I actually have a counter. This was back on day 12, but we're on day 17 of my iRacing career. I actually have this little counter here that tells me. So like I said, we're dubbing over this. because I didn't say anything the rest of the race. In fact, I didn't even realize for like 15 minutes after this that was still recording. So we're just adding some narration. Wow, let's see if you can overshoot that corner some more. So yeah, that's a very boring race. I was outclassed pretty heavily at the time. I spent some more time on Tsukuba and got much better at it, and I can run consistently in the 106s. But yeah, I was definitely not doing well at this point in time. I was tired. It was early in the morning. I was trying to push for a C class license. And actually, I think as a result of this race, I actually went up to like 3.53 or something. And I thought, well, all I need to do is finish my C class races, and I should be able to move to C, right? No, you have to have a 4.0 safety rating to get to C, so I ended up spending a lot more time than I had planned when I was needed to be studying, working on a C class license. I did get my C class license, and I am working on training some stuff, but uh, the last few days I've been studying, so I haven't had time to really touch it too much. I did a Motor Mayhem this evening that will go up shortly. Uh, and now that we have some narration, it's not just 20 minutes of silence. I was trying to think of some catchy titles for this video, like Silent as a Bird or, you know, Cat That Got My Tongue or something like that. And I think the ending answer was just, we'll just dub it. We'll narrate it, basically. So that's what we're doing. Yep, overdriving the turn. I still haven't figured this spot out. I kind of hit the brake and then I turn in, and then obviously you don't want to be out too far on this turn. It'll get you loose. Oh, there's Wrecky guy. Everybody was so much faster than me in this race. My R rating has dropped like. I had a bad race the other day. I was racing the Spec Racer 4, and I was. Some days you're dodging the cue ball, and some days you are the cue ball. you know. And that race, I was the cue ball, and I pulled myself out of the race because I wrecked like 3 people. And I was just like, all right, I'm getting out of here before I wreck anybody else. Uh, I was actually pretty competitive in that race. I was coming out of one of the turns, and I got a good run, and I got too good a run, and he didn't get out of the way fast enough, and I clipped this guy and sent him off into the field. I literally pulled over there just to let that guy go by because I knew I was not like all over the place, and I was having problems driving the car, and figured I would just get out of his way rather than wreck him in the process. You know, just be a gentleman about it. Uh, that's the big thing about iRacing is, and not many people do it, is if you're really slower, it's better for you and that car if you get out of the way, because you'll slow down. You'll lose a lot of time fighting that car, and you may end up having, you know, like a second and a half to 2 seconds off each lap, and you may end up catching somebody because somebody slows or is off the pace or wrecks or something. So holding that guy up, you know, with 10 laps to go in the race is really just it's not smart. So, not to mention I couldn't have held him up anyway. He could have drove around me on any line he wanted to because I was so slow, and I mean these lap times are horrible. You can tell it was early in the morning and I was tired because I was definitely not driving well. So anyway, back to that Spec Racer Ford race, which actually happened after this. It's kind of funny. During that Spec Racer Ford race, yeah, I was the cue ball. I took the guy out trying to make a move out of the final turn. I forget what track it was. What track was that? It's in my Motor Mayhem series. I'm just drawing a blank. Is it it's not Laguna Seca. It's not Spa. It's not Tsukuba. It's not Jefferson Park. I can't remember. Anyway, I was making a turn off onto the long straightaway on that track, and I took the guy out. I just drove into his. I had a good run, and I just didn't clear him. I drove right into the right rear quarter panel and sent him off into the field. And then the next time, I don't think I hit anybody. What happened was I was just missing my marks so bad. I don't know if I was tired or what, but I was missing my marks really bad, and I wrecked in the same place twice. And the second time I wrecked, the leaders were coming up on me, and I drove off into the field to get away from the leaders, and the car got loose and spun again. And I went back on the track and I stopped, but the fourth place guy still hit me, and I was like, "Look, I'm just all over the place. I'm in people's way." So I withdrew from the event. Uh, by that time, I had like 16 incidents or something like that. Uh, I lost control like numerous times. I mean, I was just. Some days you're the cue ball, and some days you just need to realize that that day you're the cue ball and you need to put it down and come back another day. Uh, and pick a day when you're not the cue ball. So anyway, yeah, I'm racing violently for last. At this point, I'm wondering if I'm going to get lapped. There's nothing more embarrassing to your honor than getting lapped when you're trying. If you're wrecked, that's one thing, but when you're driving and you get lapped, it's just like, okay, there's no answer for that. Like, either A, you need more practice, or A, you need more practice. If you get to B, C, A. But there's other factors that go into it. You get tired, your brain slows down, you miss the apex of the corner, and you're just out in la la land. You miss your brake, you overdrive the corner, you charge too far into it. If it's not a practice thing, it's a tired thing, or you need to recharge your brakes, rebuild your sugar levels, something. It's funny. I have driven the tar off this track, and I'm looking back, and it was only 5 days ago, and I can't believe 5 years ago I was driving this horribly in this race. Thankfully, I wasn't hurting anybody, so that's a plus. I was smart enough to get out of people's way. It's like this guy behind me, he's, lap down. I don't even know why he's still racing at this point. It's like he has no hope of catching anybody. There's 4 laps to go. He's a lap behind me, who's the last guy. He has like no hope of making any ground whatsoever, and he's still racing. I mean, I get it from a standpoint of I'm new and I need the practice. So at this point, I get out of control, and I'm like, just let this guy by. That way, I don't wreck him. Again, this was a day in which I was a cue ball. I just wasn't around anybody to cause them a lot of pain. Although I almost did wreck several people in this race. So some people don't care if they wreck other people. Some people don't realize that they're the cue ball. I was racing a guy in a. It wasn't this night. It was like a couple nights later or something, and he was holding me up so bad, and he was just all over the place, and he was so out of control that I was afraid to go by him because I was afraid he was going to collect me when he tried to react to whatever I did. So I was just all over his back bumper, and I tried to dive inside of him a few times and overdrove the corner, and uh, he took the position back when I did that, and finally, I was behind him, and he just overdrove a curve and wrecked. And I put like 2 to 3 seconds on him a lap after that. But I just couldn't get by him, and pretty much that was my race. Because by the time I got by him, he pretty much. Uh, I was so far behind that I just couldn't catch up if I wanted to. I was like 10 seconds behind with like 6 or 7 laps to go. I don't know if I recorded that. Sometimes I just hop on here and I just, want to run a race before I start studying when I get home. It takes like 20, 30 minutes, 40 minutes more likely. Eat some dinner, let that settle, and then I'll get back to studying. That was a nice burp and gulp and whatever that was. That was almost good. It was just a little too hard coming out of that corner. It's kind of weird. I'm actually recording playback of this video so I could dub over it. It was actually a pretty good turn there. Good job. Good job. Yeah, that's a 107.3. That's not bad. Considering where I was at this time, 107.3 is good. That's actually a pretty good corner. Could have been a little tighter, but I mean, you're talking that's pretty tight. And then I come in here and push out of the corner. And then cut back too short, get squirrely. You hear me scrambling on the wheel. A little too hard in that corner. Pushed out. Oh, man. I'm still not perfect. I still make some of the same mistakes. I just make less of them. And that's what practice does. I mean, practice just, that's why you got to practice. You're usually not the greatest thing on sliced bread the first day that you do something. This is something you got to keep practicing at to get better. The only way to do that is to keep doing it. So I will keep doing it, and we will keep getting better. And this was day 12. There was a lot going on around day 12 because I think I got a steering wheel on like day 9 or something. So I was still learning the pedals and the steering wheel, and I can't imagine life without them, honestly. The gradients to which you use the gas pedal and the brake pedal, I don't know how you would ever do that with a joystick or with the controller like I was trying to do. I was getting okay with the controller, but I definitely know that I'm much faster with the steering wheel and the pedals. And now that I've gotten like some of the concepts down, like dragging the brake and stuff, it's much better. So we did a horrible job. I think there was only 10 people running at the end, and we managed to finish 9th. And that's only because somebody was a lap down. Yeah. One person didn't start, and one person finished 13th. I wonder about these guys if they're tanking an I rating and that's why they're doing it. Because if you withdraw from an event, it tanks your I rating. Like that Spec Racer event I withdrew from really tanked my I rating. So we finished almost a lap behind, and we started 10th and finished 9th. Not very exciting. Our fastest lap was not fast. And that's going to conclude the race. But it was fun. As you can see, I lost a crap load of I rating because I was still like almost 1300 I rating. We did get a safety rating bump. We crossed 3.0, so that bumped us another 0.4. So we ended up with 15. We ended up with 2 off tracks, which gave us 2. We actually ran a 106.605, which is really nice in there something. All right, well, that's going to do it for this video. I'll get this uploaded, and yeah, for some reason I was silent on this video, so I had to dub over it. Day 12. We'll have more videos to come as we progress along.